fellow YouTubers, truth seekers, and Mandela affected. I'm Darkwolf, and this is Darkwolf's Den. I'd like to welcome everybody and say Happy New Year. It is 2018. This is Jan 1, 2018. I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you've had a wonderful New Year. I hope you weren't too hungover. I I had a bit of wine last night. I enjoyed myself immensely. But this is not about that, even though, again, I would like to welcome everybody and wish everyone a happy new year. So, on this channel, we deal with the Mandela effect. And a lot of people just getting into it wonder, what in the world is it? Well, I've written an article, and hopefully I'll explain at least a little bit about what the Mandela effect is. Every day, more and more people are waking up to the ME. If you look on YouTube or even Google, there are about twice as many explanations as there are videos. In this article, I'm going to attempt to turn the phenomenon in a way, I'm going to attempt to sum up the phenomenon in a way that you probably haven't heard before. First, though, we must understand where the name itself comes from. In the 1980s, the world was very different than it is today. There was no internet. And if a home had a computer, they probably had it only for a business purpose, like spreadsheets or something. News was carried about 3 times a day on most channels. Not that there was a large selection back then. We had, 5, maybe 7? Wasn't many. The point is that news was presented differently. I remember seeing a news reports as a child about South African President Nelson Mandela dying in prison while the U.S. was attempting a rescue mission. And what a sad day that it was for the world. I even remember the stock footage of helicopters flying over the treetops. I remember it all. But it turns out that I'm not the only one that shares this memory. During a convention called DragonCon, a lady known as Fiona Broom was discussing this very thing with a group of friends in 2010, only to be shocked to find out that Nelson Mandela at the time was still very much alive. He did not pass away until 2013. This became known as the first instance in the coining of the phrase, the Mandela effect. But this is only one of a number of Mandela effect examples. This article, however, is not covering those examples specifically. Most people who have studied it will tell you that it is, in its essence, a large group of people that share the exact same memory that does not match recorded history. And while this is completely true, it is this writer's opinion that there is much more to it. Like what, you may be asking? Well, I'll be glad to tell you. From the data that I've been able to collect for the last 2 years, going on 3 now, I have found some intriguing results thus far. The first commonality that shines through right away is that most people who experience the effect are empathic. Before you think I went into the realm of woo-woo all of a sudden, I assure you that I have not. Being empathic merely means having empathy towards other humans, and to what degree. Most people in the Mandela effect community that I've met are highly empathetic towards others, or to put it another way, highly empathic. Another trait that I've found in the community sharing is an open-minded interest. Another trait that I've found the community sharing is an open-minded interest in what are usually considered fringe topics, though this is not 100% of the time. Although, once a person has experienced this effect and starts to realize the implications of it, not much else is off the table as far as fringe topics go. But most people that I've met in the community enjoy research and learning a lot of new things across a wide spectrum of topics. There also seems to be a very metaphysical and spiritual aspect to it. No, the Mandela effect is not some new age concept. However, a lot of people have been led in their research to concepts that include new age aspects. Some theories, my own included, even go as far as to mention the biblical veil between worlds being damaged or even purposely thinning. But that is a topic for another series of articles altogether. This was, however, one of my first theories about 20 minutes after stumbling across the Mandela effect, mainly because I had been studying reincarnation also at the time. To round off this aspect, I would like to say that once you do experience an effect in your world, it does become quite a personal experience, which makes it no wonder that a lot of people invoke a religious aspect. The fact that Mandela effects can be found also in the Holy Bible lends much more credence to the spiritual aspect of things. I have also long theorized that the videos on YouTube about people having time slip situations could be an aspect of the effect too. This is more speculative than fact, but it seems to me that if someone can step into another time period, however briefly, and many reports have been made, then it could be connected to an effect that, on its surface, suggests edits in our time stream. Although there are millions of people that seem to vanish into thin air every year and no one has explanation. There's even one case reported in the 1800s about a farmer who vanished into thin air while standing in a field waving at a passing carriage. This happened in front of a group of people, including his wife, his children, and even a preacher. The man was never seen or heard from again. Could this also be tied to the effect? That answer is yours to speculate. In this article, I've laid out what the Mandela effect is, and also how much more could be connected to it than originally thought. Hopefully, this information has helped in some way, although fact-check everything you read and use your own discernment in all things. So, I wrote that article a couple days ago. I hope it helps. I hope this is more for the people who are just wondering what in the world it is, have just heard about it, or kind of want to get an idea of what's going on. So, I'd like to thank everybody who's joined me for this video. I really, really appreciate everyone. I hope you have a wonderful 2018 and many, many more years to come. Remember always one last thing. Stay awake, but dare to dream. This has been Darkwolf of Darkwolf's Den. Bye, everybody.